sandwiches, Christmas quilt sandwiches for my upcoming items for Christmas. So today I'm making the sandwich. So this is the first item that I'm working with. This is gonna be like a little coaster. Trying to get it, okay. I'm trying to get it, I'm trying to see the chat. So this is the little coaster. This is the quilt top for the little coaster. So the fabric that I'll be using for the backing fabric is this fabric here. I always try to use a print in the quilt top for the backing fabric. So this is the backing fabric that I'm using for this is the fabric that I'm using for the backing fabric. This is a petite. So when I have petites, what you can do is mark the selvage. I normally use a little squiggly line so I can know the wrong side and just along the selvage end so that I know the front from the back. Because you know with petite sometimes you really can't tell. So this is about a 4-inch square. So I like to cut my backing fabric about 2 inches all the way around. 2 extra inches all the way around. So then I would have, since this is about a 4-inch little quilt top, then I'll cut my backing fabric at 8 inches, so I have enough for 2 inches around, because it's like 4 plus 4 is 8. So then you will have, since it's a 4-inch square, you're gonna have 2 extra inches all the way around once you cut it at 8 inches. Okay, so then this is my backing fabric. First I got to even up the side. And when I do my little coasters, I like to have 3 layers of batting in them so that the quilting kind of pops out, So first I have to even up the side. Then I'm going to cut an 8-inch square so that I have 2 extra inches all the way around the 4-inch quilt top. So then this is my first rule I bought for my, in quilting 22 years ago. So I still have it. So that's one thing about it. Once you get it, you don't have to keep buying stuff. You just hold on to whatever you buy. You just hold on to it. So you ain't got to. So even when the prices start going up, you already have stuff. So I'm just cutting an 8-inch square. Then I have to cut 3 layers of batting at 8 inches. Sometimes I use my backing fabric as a guide, but that's really not necessary because you know what size square you're cutting. So I don't have to use this backing fabric as a guide. I would just go to cut 3 8-inch squares of batting. So now I'm going to mark the wrong side of this fabric. So I'm also going to mark the top. So I'll switch it over and mark the top with this little colored pencil. So I know the top when I when I go to make my sandwich. So we just put this to the side. And now we'll come in with our batting to cut. And this is all cotton. It doesn't have scrim as far as I know. I don't think it said scrim. But when it has scrim in it, it allows you to quilt farther apart. That's the difference. It doesn't say anything about scrim, it just says 100% cotton. So now I have to cut, I'm gonna cut three 8-inch squares. I just cut the quilt top, so I'm trying to make, I think this is the selvage end over here, so I'll fix it to where I can cut the little square for the 3 8-inch squares, and I'm gonna go up so that I'm not losing the crosswise. I'm just gonna go up and cut 3 8-inch squares. There's one. Side. Then I put 2 more layers to make my little Christmas quilt sandwich for this little pot holder that I just showed you all the quilt top for. Then I'm gonna pin baste it together, and when you get your pins, the safety pins, make sure it's like the number 1. You want the smallest pin so that you don't put big holes in the quilt top. Just need 1 more 8-inch piece of batten. And then by being a coaster, the extra batting helps it to be more sturdy. But technically, you can actually use only 1 layer of batting. I just like my quilting to pop out. But you don't need 3 layers of batting if you don't want your quilting to like pop out. You can just use 1 layer. It doesn't have to be 3 layers. Okay, and then I got to get my safety pin so that I can make my sandwich. Okay. Let's get the pins, which I should already have them out, but oh well. Where's that? So let's see. Okay, there we go. So sometimes so then we bring in our bagging fabric. Making our little Christmas quilt sandwiches. And we put our little bedding on. Hi, thanks for stopping by. Hi everyone. Hi. We're making our little Christmas quilt sandwich for my upcoming Christmas patchwork, my quilt items, my little quilts. So then I kind of just go in and lay it like that. Then take some safety pins and pin it. But like I said, make sure you're using a small pin. And I don't need a lot of pins, but you need some, but not a lot of pins. So we're making our little Christmas quilt sandwich for my upcoming little coaster. This is gonna be a coaster. So then I'll take some safety pins, some small safety pins, and pin it. So first I'll pin it in the middle, then around the side. So I just pick it up some, and you're gonna make sure that it goes all the way through before you bring it back up. So I don't like the way that's looking, so I'm gonna take that out and put it in again. Just want just a little, just enough. And then just, so this one don't need a lot. Then you just take your little pins and make your sandwiches. And secure it. So we'll go out here. Cause it's not that big, so. And you don't have to put a lot of them in here. Cause it's not a big quilt top. It's just a little quilt top for a patchwork coaster. And you just, like I say, you get the smallest safety pins. If it's a number 1, number 2, number 3 safety pin, get the number 1. Cause you don't want to put a big hole, too big of a hole in the actual quilt top. Then I'll put one over here. Okay, so that's pretty much that. And then I'm going to put some pins out here so that the fabric doesn't come back and get caught in my quilting line. So you still need to secure this area right here. So we'll put some safety pins out here. And tomorrow I'll be doing another live. That one will be on curved piecing. So make sure you come back for that. Hi. And this is just a patchwork coaster I made using 6-degree triangles, a little quilt top. Then I had to add a border because I came up short with the little pieces that I had cut, so I had to add a border. I could have added more 6-degree triangles, but that was gonna take too long, and I wasn't finna waste all my work because it's already extra work that goes into working with 6-degree triangles, and I wasn't just gonna discard my little quilt top, and I wasn't going to sew more triangles, so I just added a border. So that's that. That's our little Christmas quilt sandwich for our patchwork coat. So this is the top. Then you see the 3 layers, and then that's the back. And I also have some more of this. I'll show you. So I'll use this fabric here for the border. So I have to cut some strips for the border. Not the border, the binding strip. So this fabric will also be used for the binding strip. Like I said, I like to use one of the prints in my quilt top for the backing fabric and the binding strip. So it should be enough because it's not a big coaster. So you know, the quilt sandwich is when you take the quilt top, put the batting, which is the cotton fiber, the cotton layers in the middle, and the backing fabric on the back. So as far as this is concerned, all I have to do at this point is just quilt it together, meaning sew all 3 layers together. So I do have a custom touch that I'm going to use to quilt this quilt top. So you make sure you come back to see that. And I have a couple more items to show. So we have the first little quilt sandwich done. So now we'll move on to our second quilt sandwich, which is this one. This is another little coaster. It's like a 4-inch coaster, postage stamp coaster, because it's I cut 1.5-inch squares. The finished size would be a 1-inch square. So it's another little coaster. So this is a 4-inch little quilt top. So I'm going to again cut 8-inch squares of batting and backing to make the sandwich. So let's get our backing fabric first. This is the backing fabric that I'm going to use. And it is a print in the quilt top. Like I was saying, I like to use, and most times it's like my favorite print. So whatever one of my favorite prints is in the quilt top, I use it for the backing fabric and the binding strip. And I see, well, I ain't gonna say that because that might offend someone, about bed sheets being used for backing fabric. I wasn't taught to do that, but I'll leave that alone. I don't want to offend nobody, but I've never used a bed sheet for a flat, like a flat bed sheet for backing fabric. Well, I guess people do what they want to do, so I'll leave that alone. So again, we're gonna cut this. First, I cut about 1 inch off from the silver. Then I cut an 8-inch square. I can go up some because I have a couple more items to cut. So I just cut another. First I cut an 8-inch square of backing fabric. We'll cut this at 8 inches. Then I cut 3 layers of batting again, but like I said, you can get away with just 1 layer of batting in a coaster. I just like to have height to my coasters. I also like for my quilting to pop out, so that's why I use 3 layers of batting for my coasters, my patchwork coasters. And again, what we're doing today is a my little Christmas quilt sandwiches. And once I get all these sandwiches done, I can start my quilting and meaning sewing all 3 layers together. So now I have to I'm gonna mark the top of this top of the back. So then I just flip this over and mark the top. I can use some a little lighter. So I know the top of the backing fabric when I go to make my sandwich. Now I just go to put 3 layers of batting again. But like I said, you can get away with just 1 layer of batting in a coaster. It's not necessary to have 3. Oh, I guess it was like this. And this is 100% cotton batting. That's pretty much what I work with. You need three 8-inch squares of batting again. So we'll cut those. And you know what? For this one, I think I'm just gonna do 1 layer of batting because I'm a hand quilter. So I ain't gonna put 3 layers in this one. I'm just gonna put 1 layer just to show people that, and plus to show, you know, that you don't have to have 3 layers of batting in a coaster. You can get away with 1. It's okay for 1 layer. So I'm gonna put 1 layer in here, and then I'm a hand quilt it. So we're just gonna put 1 layer in this one, and then I'll hand quilt it. So, cause I've been wanting to get back into doing that, but that one with 3 layers, I wouldn't try to do no hand quilting on that. But we'll do 1 layer in this coaster of batting to make our little Christmas quilt sandwich, and then I'll hand quilt this one. So we start in the middle. So first pin, like pin it in the middle. And then I want to see how my hand quilting gonna come out when I do that. So that's something for me to be excited about. just making our little Christmas quilt sandwiches. If you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. If you want detailed instructions, just check out my live feed, because I do live videos and I provide a lot of helpful information there. So check that out. So I'm just making my little Christmas quilt sandwich, the second one. And I have a few more to go. I really didn't need that close. In fact, put one right here. You just pin it together. Put a pin in the middle so I know the. Why is it not showing? Hold on. Okay. So I will pin the middle and the top. That's a way for you to know the top of the. Pin the top in the middle. That way you know the top. We're just pinning our little sandwich together. And pin on the outside too, so the fabric doesn't, the backing fabric doesn't get caught up in your quilting on the quilt top part. So you still need to put some pins out in this area. We're just doing our little quilt sandwiches. Our little Christmas quilt sandwiches. And once I get these, once I get everything based, I can just go to quilt my items, my little quilt sandwiches. So I'm excited about that. So, take this little pin out. I use little glass head pins to mark the top of the block on the left hand side. But I put that one in the middle, so I know what's up. That's our little little Christmas quilt sandwich number 2. So this is for a coaster. I didn't put 3 layers of batting here like I normally do for my patchwork coasters because I decided to hand quilt this one. So we'll just attempt that with just 1 layer of batting. Okay. Now we're going to do this one. This is the quilt top for a pot holder. So I'll definitely be putting 3 layers of batting in here. I don't use Insta Bright in my patchwork pot holders. I just put 3 layers of 100% cotton batting. I hadn't had no problems doing that way. These are, I cut 2.5-inch squares for this quilt top here. So it's gonna be a finished size of like a 6-inch pot holder. So now I'll go, since it's 6 inches, I would need a 10-inch square because I like to have an extra 2 inches all the way around. So the 6 plus the 4 is a 10. So, cause it's 6 plus 2 on each side. So 6 plus 2 plus 2 is 10. So I'll go to cut a 10-inch square of batting. Nope, 10-inch square for the backing fabric. Then I'm going to cut 3 10-inch squares of batting. But first, I'm going to cut my backing fabric. thanks for stopping by. Make sure you all are subscribed to the channel and go and watch some of my other long form videos when you get a chance. I would really appreciate that. So, let's see. So now we have to cut a 10-inch square for the bagging fabric. Now we're going to cut. Let's see how I want to do this. Ooh, but that's going to require 12-inch square. Start from right here. Let's see. Let's cut a 10-inch square. And I'm on top of the back with the colored pencil. On the top of the back. Of course, you know you're not going to just. Then we're going to cut 3 10-inch squares of batting because that was a 6-inch. That was a 6-inch square, so we're going to need 3 10-inch squares of batting. be 10-inch square. Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. Put this on here, and we'll just cut 2 more. Just go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on here. Pen. So I know what the top is. So over here, cut 2 more 10-inch squares. Cut 2 more 10-inch squares for our patchwork pot. Okay. Put this on top. Keep this pen at the top so we know the top. Okay, so then there's 2 layers. And add 1 more layer because this is a pot holder, so I will need another 10-inch square of I think I'm cutting it. I think this is this one. Yeah. Which one? Let's see. Okay, there we go. Let's see, I'm gonna cut 1 more 10-inch square of batting. Okay. price for 10. It's okay. Like I said, we have extra room, so piece right there. All right, so that's 3 layers for that. We can put our last little layer on the cotton for our little Christmas quilt sandwich. So now we'll have to pin our sandwich together. Our little Christmas quilt sandwich. We'll pin it together now. Now this is the little Christmas quilt sandwich for my upcoming patchwork pot holder. Pin the top in the middle. We'll start pinning from the middle. Just pinning, and make sure you make this pin is making through all the layers before you go to bring it up. Making little Christmas quilt sandwiches for our upcoming Christmas items. And like I said, this here is the quilt sandwich for a patchwork. A patchwork pot holder. So this is the front. Oh, I got to pin around the sides. Hold on. Need some more pins out. Now we will pin on the outside so that the backing fabric doesn't come back in the quilt. Get caught up in the quilting line, so you have to pin on the outside too. I don't know, it must be, it didn't even go through. What's wrong with that pin? Let me try this one. See, that must have been a reject pin, because it didn't go through at all. It must have that tip broke off some kind of way, because it's not even going through. Leave this one up here so we don't use it again. We have no success with that one. We're just pinning our quilt sandwich together. This one. Okay, so that's the front of that quilt sandwich for our little Christmas quilt sandwich for our upcoming patchwork pot holder. There's the 3 layers that you can see of batting, and here's the backing fabric. So this is gonna be a really cute when I get this all quilted and bound. So this one, look at that. Okay. So that's that one. So now we're going to, this is another quilt top for our patchwork pot holder. So this is an 8-inch quilt top. So therefore I will cut my backing fabric at 12 inches. So let's do that. About to cut the backing fabric for our. Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by. We're going to cut the backing fabric for the patchwork pot holder. See, don't throw this away. You can use this to make smaller scraps. And it's gonna go at the top. you say this is a strip for smaller squares. You ain't got to use it for no scrap. You can cut smaller squares with that. Cause this fabric came from a quilt shop and it's not cheap. So you definitely want to make the most of it when you're you know, as much as you can. This is very expensive. Cut a 12-inch square. Seems like this side is not straight, but oh well. It's gonna be cut off anyway, so I ain't gonna make no big deal about that. Now I have to cut the 3 layers of batting, 12 inches. So we got going on over here. Hold on, cut for something else right quick. Okay, first I'm gonna cut a 20-inch piece of bedding for my this placement. I wanna make sure I got enough of that, cause I'm gonna show y'all. If I run out, I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna show y'all how you can just fix it in the middle. But first I'm finna cut a 20-inch. Cut a 20-inch square for my placemat. Before I cut this band for this pot holder, I'm gonna get a 20-inch square. I need a 20-inch square for that. I wanna make sure I got enough for this placemat, cause I got some little pieces I can use for this for this pot holder. I'm gonna make sure I get a 20 square. That way I know I got enough band for everything I need to cut. So we're gonna do this first. But this piece here is not for the pot holder. This is for my this placemat over here. I need a 20 square for that. So we got on the top of it. And we're gonna try to get some 12-inch squares for our this pot holder, but I might end up having to, you know, lay some little pieces on it and if I run out. So we need a 12-inch square. 3 12-inch squares. So we got this is one. With a pen. I take it out as I, you know. Okay, let's see what else we got. We probably gotta piece this together. Okay, that's that. Oh, how are we doing? Okay, that's that. Oh, it was like this. It was like this or something. That's the top. Like this. Okay, let's see. Now we gotta just try to piece. This is about a 10 by 12. Okay, so now I got to piece it. So first, I'm gonna bring our backing fabric in. And we're gonna lay this down on here. Cause now I'm not gonna have a whole piece. I had to make it, I had to like put little pieces together for the I have some like that piece. I had some old some, they're right there. There. Right there. That piece. Okay. Okay, we need that. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna get some of this other stuff we got over here. I gotta try to make these work. Okay. Well, this works on this side. So that works. So now I'm gonna try to cut this. Okay. See, now I gotta try to make it work to, since I had to cut that 20-inch piece, I got to make this work. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Guess y'all can tell if I'm doing all this, I've been quilting a long time. What was that big piece that we had over here? Okay, so then we had this piece. And then we can put this piece. So we need to see that. I can kind of see it. If you wanna, hold on. I'm gonna cut this straight so we can kind of, like, so I can kind of bump this in, cause it's a little straighter. Okay. I'm gonna cut this. Then I'm gonna, hold on, y'all, to make this work. I gotta make this work. I'm gonna cut some. I wanna cut that a little straight. Let's see how much. Yeah. Cut maybe an inch off. I'll cut an inch off to the end. this. Let's cut 1.5 inches. Trying to fit it where I can see the bottom. Right. Good enough, then we just gotta cut off the side right here. Okay, and then maybe best I'll be able to do with that. See, that's how you have to, if you run out, then you have to kind of try the pieces together. Because I had to get that other little piece, cause, so I know I ain't got to buy no more bag. So then, let's see, that ain't even on that kind of, really, see that way. So once I do this one, let's see. Technically, you probably can get away with not even using that little bottom piece, but I'm gonna pin it. You have to pin it together. Sit down and do this. Just pinning our little Christmas quilt sandwich together. And like I said, when you go to get the safety pins, get the smallest one. They have curved pins for quilters, but you don't have to have that curved pin. A straight, the safety pin doesn't have to be curved, but they do make the curved pins, especially for quilters. And just pinning our little quilt sandwich together for this pop holder. It's gonna be another patchwork pop holder. Okay, let's put it in the back. Okay, let's go get some more pins. Quilting our little quilt sandwich together. Let me make sure y'all can see the whole thing. Yep. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that and thank you. So we have to pin this, and then I have to pin this placemat. I will also be hand quilting it, so I'm excited about that. So we're going to finish pinning this quilt sandwich, then we're going to go to our next little Christmas quilt sandwich. Pinning our little Christmas quilt sandwich together. And as I told you to pin around the sides so that the backing fabric doesn't get caught up in the quilting lines, because it will fold back on you if you don't pin it on this area. Make sure you are pinning that area too. Another one that don't want to do right. quilts in 2020. This makes 22 years, so if you watch my video, you should definitely learn something about quilting. I've been into quilting a long time, over 2 decades. It's crazy. But it is what it is. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm just pinning our little Christmas quilt sandwich together. Now I got to do the one for the placemat. Next year I'll be doing more quilts versus little quilted items. Like I'll be doing something for Valentine's Day and all of that. So I'm looking forward to that. So there's the front. And this quilt sewn. And there's the back. We got to do the one for the placemat. The 20-inch square is back in fabric, so we'll cut that. backing fabric for our placement. I need to iron it before this video out gone. Put this sandwich together. I ain't finna put a lot of pins in it because I'm gonna undo it and iron it fold. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna make the sandwich. I ain't finna put a lot of pins in it because I'm gonna be taking it right back apart to iron this fabric. Okay, so we got this. I need to move on the top. And there's that. And I'll put top for our placemat in this. But I ain't, like I said, I ain't finna put no lot of pins in here because I'm gonna take it back apart to iron and fold at the back and fabric. But for the sake of this video, I will do it. So we're just making the little Christmas quilt sandwich, and I probably won't even take this back apart till I get all this other stuff quilted. We're gonna make our sandwich. Put a few in here because I'm gonna be taking this apart. Something to hold it for in the meantime. Just making another little Christmas quilt sandwich, and like I said, this is a placemat. This is a Drunkard's Pad quilt block is what you see here. So that's all I'm gonna put in here because I'm gonna be taking this back apart. But so this is the quilt sandwich for the patchwork placemat. This is the front. This is the back. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at our sandwiches. So this is one of the sandwiches. This is for a patchwork coaster. That's the front. That's the back for that one. This is another patchwork coaster. Little quilt sandwich for a patchwork coaster. I only put one layer of batting in here. You do not have to put 3 layers of batting in your coasters. And that's the back. So that's the front, that's the back. I will be hand quilting this one. So I only put 1 layer of batting in here. So this will be another little patchwork coaster. I'm gonna hand quilt that. This is the little quilt sandwich for my patchwork pot holder. So that's the front for that. It will be a 6-inch pot holder. And that's a little Christmas quilt sandwich for that. So that's the front. That's the back. Okay. And this is another little Christmas quilt sandwich. This will also be a patchwork pot holder. So this is the front. This is the back. This is a patchwork pot holder for a patchwork pot holder. This is the front of this again. This will be another patchwork pot holder. That's the front, that's the back. So there's that little Christmas quilt sandwich. That. This is the quilt sandwich again for the little Christmas quilt sandwich again for the patchwork coaster. I'm going to hand quilt this. It's going to be cute. This is another little Christmas quilt sandwich for another patchwork coaster. So that's the front. Those are 6-degree triangles. Check out my lives for detailed information for things I do. So that's the front. That's the back. That's that. And again, this is the quilt sandwich for the patchwork placement. I'm going to undo this one to fold out this little crease right there. So I just did this one just have something to show you all for the sake of this video. Thanks for watching this video. Please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Go and check out some of my other videos. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. Please go and check out some of my other videos. I use my live stream to do a detailed instruction, so make sure you all go check out my live feed. Please go watch some of my other videos. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Check you later. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.